Welcome to Medrash Rabbah on Rabbah-ואתחנן. We are going to be discussing the first pasuk of Rabbah-ואתחנן, which says, "V'eschana Hashem ba'isei leimor," that Moshe Rabbeinu tells Hashem, he tells the Jews, the Yidden, how he, so to speak, prayed. That is loosely translating. He prayed to Hashem ba'isei. Okay, that is what we're going to be discussing. And what he prayed, he continues describing how basically he's begging to go into the land of Eretz Yisrael. So the words that we're going to be discussing over here is these words of Bo'esahi. What does he mean? And I, so to speak, Davin prayed to God Bo'esahi. What does that mean, Bo'esahi? So if you look back at the end of last week's Parasha's Dvarim, the exact same wording is used in regards to after the war against Sichin and Og. Moshe Rabbeinu describes how Ba'esahi, right, the same thing, same wording, he had a discussion with the Shvatim of Gad and Reuven in regards to their claim wanting to keep properties in the lands of Sichin and Og, which was outside of the Eretz Yisrael proper. And he's telling them basically, you guys gotta, the deal is you're only going to get this land is if you come and fight with us in Eretz Yisrael, and only if after things settle down you can go back and get that land. So the wording over there also is Ba'esahi leimor. He spoke Ba'esahi. He spoke to them Ba'esahi and that Esahi. So if it was referring, now the word Ace can be translated is time. Ba'esahi in that time. So if the end of last week's Parsha speaks about a Ba'esahi, and the beginning of this week's Parsha speaks about a Ba'esahi, the question is it the same time? Because there seems to be no implication it's two different times. But if it's not two different times, the way Rashi learns, and he brings, and Medrash, some Medrashim actually learn that way, that's referring to the same period of time after the conquering of those kings and lands. Why does the Torah have to repeat in the beginning of this parsha? Moshe repeats the same words, Ba'esahi, implying it's not necessarily the same time, or what's he adding? So there is the Medrash Rabbah in this week's parsha that actually addresses this question, to my understanding, and it gives quite a different take as to what the Ba'esahi in this week's parsha refers to, and it's connected to the way the Targum usually translates the word Ba'es. He translates as the word Ba'idna. Idna is in Aramaic. It means time. However, the Medrash says that if you look in Sefer Daniel, in the second chapter, Daniel, he praises God before he goes ahead and tells his translation of the dream that Nebuchadnezzar had. He uses two different words to describe the greatness of God. He goes into many different descriptions, but just the one that is important to us and is pertaining to us is the word over there he uses is Beheshna, De'idna Uzmana. Or that basically the way he's describing God is God changes or flips Idna and Zimna. So the question is, what's the difference between Idna and Zimna? They both seemingly refer to time. Zman means time, Zimna in Aramaic, and Idna also in Aramaic means time. So what is the difference between the two? And a lot of commentators actually on the Torah do not differentiate. They see it as just a repetition. But the Medrash Rabbah here actually has a different take on it. The Medrash Rabbah here says that actually it seems that this word, which is a translation of our word in our parsha of Ba'es, Idna, refers to specific connection to time. And the Medrash goes on to explain what it's referring to. It says like this, it brings a mashal, it brings a parable to understand what's going on with Moshe Rabbeinu in this week's parsha. What is he talking about? What is he addressing? And that is, it brings a mashal. It says, let's say you have a king, he has this beloved person that he really loves a lot. He's the most beloved person in the world, really. And he hires him to basically, take care of everything. Hire everybody in my kingdom, the governors, etc., all the positions. You're in charge of all that. And that's what he does. He hires this minister, etc., etc. Time goes by, and this beloved, second-hand man to the king, so to speak, tries to come to the palace, and they're not letting him in. These exact ministers that he himself hired, these guards now, that he himself hired and put into a position of power, they're not letting him in. So people are bewildered by this, right? Why? how's this possible? This guy, he hired them and they don't let him in? And people respond, what's the reason? His time is up. His time passed. In other words, his power was limited to its time, and it wasn't for granted. And now that's gone. Says the Medrash, that's exactly what the Parsha is referring to over here with Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu says, and I pray to God, Ba'esahi. Ba'esahi means in regards to this timing. In other words, says the Medrash, Moshe Rabbeinu during his lifetime had ultimate power over nature. He was able to decree things and God had to fulfill them, right? He was able to say, I want, right, in regards to this situation with Korach, God should create a hole in the ground, right? He was able to literally change things in nature based on his will. That's what the God wanted, etc., etc. Said the Medrash, the same claim is with Moshe. Even though throughout his lifetime, he was to some extent beyond nature, when his time comes, that's all gone. He doesn't have the ability to do those things anymore. Just like the position of power that this loved one had to the king. And that's what the Medrash is saying. That's what the Torah, Moshe Rabbeinu is saying. And I prayed to God, Ba'esahi, about the time, meaning he was trying to, so to speak, question God's, to so to speak, change that timing. If not, either extend time, change that position of time. And God said, no, this is something that nobody can change. Only I have control over time, and I take away people's capabilities whatever I want it to be. And this is what I decided. So it says the Medrash, you see, this is, even though tzaddikim, they do have power. I think the Talmud, the Gemara says, that tzaddik is goyzer, and HaKadosh Baruch has to mekayim. But that's only within his time frame of power. But once that time frame is over, those tzaddiks, even the tzaddik's capabilities, even Moshe Rabbeinu, lost those capabilities, and that's what Moshe was showing the Jews, the Yidden, the Am Yisrael. No matter how powerful you are all limited, and therefore you're limited by time as well. Have a good Shabbos, everybody.